heard yesterday what Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo, and he said, you, Mr. Apampa, you wanted to take over the party, but you were unsuccessful. He fought you, according to him, in taking over the party, and now you have colluded, or you are colluding with Mr. Abure to internally take over the destiny of the party. How do you react to some of the things Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo said yesterday?
Well, thank you, Sheung. I think I need to make a certain thing clear here. When he came yesterday, he asked a luxury of time because we have a lot of things. I have satisfactory copy of most of the information he misled the public with. I have it right there on my phone. But I don't think this 14 minutes, will be enough. But let me try my best. You see, for whatever he might have said, Labour Party crisis is as a result of, some heavily defeated and demystified political non-actors who, since over 2 years now, you see them, making comment, believing it is the interest of the Labour Party. That is, what we have. And Kenneth Okonkwo, as a person, have been involved, in some form of greed for cheap blackmail against our national leadership, and he had decided to abandon the import of the judgment of a court, federal court, to judgment, and court of appeal to judgment. But as a lawyer, I hope the national president of NBA is watching me, because it is wrong for a lawyer to be a purveyor of a fake news, that you can go to court and seek the certified copy, of the judgment or the proceeding. I am not a lawyer, but I need to make the record straight. Now, with regard to Papa, I don't want to talk about that, it's a past issue. We are now, in the new order in Labour Party. Now, to be very honest, Mr. Kenneth
Before you get there, just for a moment, let's clear the air. They say he who comes with equity to equity must come with bare clean hands. Yes. So the question here is that you, Mr. Apampa, and the rest of your crew, before the election, you were up in arms against Mr. Abure. You were saying Mr. Abure was corrupt. You were saying Mr. Abure is illegal. You were saying Mr. Abure should not be the national chairman of the party.
Let me answer you.
Just for a moment, let me land on the question. How now is it that you are now the best of friends with Mr. Abure? What happened?
Yeah,
again?
I would have asked him why he was also fighting with Mr. Abure now. Because you all knew they were together with the NSC president when they went to that party secretariat. And they said they came to fumigate myself and Alaji Apapa away from that secretariat. But that's not an issue. You see, when you take anything to court, even though I'm not a lawyer, but I know for modesty, I think I've initiated over 300 and something cases personally myself, and that has made me to be well regimented in the issue of law. When a court make pronouncement, you don't go about vilifying the judges. When they say, oh, you brought something before them, and they say, no, this thing is like this, you have to abide by it, or you proceed to the higher court. Yes, we were in court, with him, why all of them were with, the national chairman. But once a court has settled that matter, in the interest of peace and justice and our nation, because the honorable that just left made two important statements, that, oh, they are in disarray. Yes, Obi, you said, Obi is there. I said, yeah, provided they give him nomination. We are going to give them a good run for their money. Yeah, Mr. Tinubu, Senator Bola Tinubu, not just going to have it very easy in 2027. We are coming back with that Peter Obi to them so that they will know we are very serious. Now, back to the issue of Kenneth Okonkwo. You see, he was just trying to misplace fact and priorities here. We have two federal court judgments delivered by Justice Emeka Inwite. One on September 27, 2024, and one on October 8, 2024. Now, the one of September 2027 arises from issue of Ondo, where this candidate sponsored by Comrade Juajero, that is Chief Olushola Ebiseni Nehemiah, proceeded to court before Justice Emeka Inwite with some document that he was the rightful candidate and that one Abdulwahid Omar, who was the caretaker chairman of the NSC faction, was the substantive national chairman. Justice Emeka Inwite agreed with them because that was what they supplied, and Labour Party were not allowed to join. when that judgment was delivered on September 27, 2024, the Labour Party now proceeded to Court of Appeal. And Justice Baka, now being the lead judge, ruled on that day that Abure candidate, that is Ayolorunfemi, should be replaced back, because that was the name and first of all published. And in that judgment, Justice Baka, that was where they made their mistake. Justice Baka in that judgment pronounced the leadership of Julius Abure as substantive. That is the Court of Appeal, and that judgment was in October 13, 2024. Now, the second one arose when they were not pleased. They didn't appeal that judgment to Supreme Court. They left it because they felt, oh, election in Ondo State was just a day or two to, the day. So they abandoned it, and that means they are set to bar, they cannot go forward. Now, the second one was when they went to meet INEC, INEC collaborated with them. They hindered the national chairman, by Sir Julius Abure. They hindered the national secretary, Alhaji Farouk Umar, from entering the INEC, the consultative meeting. When we saw that, they also refused to give them the access code and the training of the agent, uploading of the agent. Then it was then Abure now as a plaintiff and Labour Party went before that federal court again, Justice Emeka Iwite, and he now gave a judgment that INEC, you must recognize him as a candidate. As the national chairman and Farouk as the national secretary. This was when INEC now filed an appeal, which is very, very unusual. INEC proceeded to Court of Appeal to go and file an appeal against the second judgment that was handed over in October 8th. That was the second federal court judgment. It was in that one that they just gave judgment on January 17th. And let me be very honest with you, what the judges say. Now that an appellate court in October 13, November 13, has already ruled that Abure is the substantive national chairman, and that judgment was not appealed. The court now said the two appeals brought by Nenadi Usman, the illegitimate National Category Committee, and the INEC, he said they lack jurisdiction to entertain it. And in law, for God's sake, Kenneth Ogunko need to learn this. When a court declares jurisdiction, you have no case before them. When the court declares jurisdiction, the court also now make a pronouncement that ab initio, there was already a judgment of the Court of Appeal in November, and that the other one of October 8th, the last jurisdiction, they were not even supposed to even entertain it. That Justice Iwite was not supposed to entertain another judgment of October 8th when the same subject matter before the same court of coordinate jurisdiction had delivered judgment on 27. Now, this was what Kenneth Ogunko was now lying to the public, that the court said, oh, they declined jurisdiction. I want to educate him. I'm not a lawyer. When you take a matter to court before the Court of Appeal, if you are not appealant, my dear brother, you are dissatisfied with the judgment. That means there is something in that judgment that you are not comfortable with. If you go and withdraw your matter, or that judgment is against you, my dear brother, the subject matter in the previous court, that is federal court, or Court of Appeal, if it is Supreme Court, is substantive, is valid before the law. So what is happening today is that we were shocked, we were flabbergasted when we saw Kenneth Ogunko referring to Barrister Julius Abure as former national chairman, referring to Alhaji Farouk as former national secretary, referring to NWC as former NWC, when he as a lawyer know fully well that an appellate court on January 17 has upheld Barrister Julius Abure and Alhaji Farouk as substantive national chairman and national secretary. Yeah. It is a disgrace to that profession.
Yeah. Mr. Arabambi, I have some very quick questions, and I'd like you to, maybe if you can, please, respond as quickly as possible, too. You've responded to Mr. Okonkwo, but let me ask you, the question that you were not able to answer earlier, my question was that you called Mr. Abure a lot of names. You made him look like a bad guy. Now, what has happened? Is he now a good guy?
No.
The man you said was everything bad that should not be the national chairman, but now you are working with him. What has happened between then and now?
No. You see, I told you, we proceeded to court. I say we are different from this Kenneth Okonkwo of a group. When a court make a pronouncement, Nigeria, we must learn to abide by something. No matter how good you are, what my Lord Justices, from the federal court to the Court of Appeal to Supreme Court, once they make a pronouncement, let us abide by it. It's not just for us to rush to the press and not be castigating them, because if something favors you today and you say, oh, glory to God.
So you're saying that all your differences, Mr. Arabambi, all your differences because of the judgment of God has been laid to bear. You were referring to Abure as an alleged criminal. You were calling him names, but all those crimes have been forgotten and written off. Is that the case?
Because the court says so, we don't have any choice. And let me also remind you, today, in Nigeria, even though that didn't go to court, we know the name, they called the city president, but today they were together. Even without going to court, they just make flimsy, outlandish accusation, even against the president. But for us, I said, we have gone to court, and the court has made final pronouncement. Shehu, what do you want me to do? Once a court make a final pronouncement,
let me ask you another quick one.
The law is that any judgment from any court in Nigeria, the Supreme Court made it very clear that court judgment of a court must be obeyed. Judgment of the court must be obeyed. But we are not like Kenneth, who will be calling judges.
Mr. Arabambi, just a moment. Let me ask you, and I'm hoping that you might be honest with Nigerians tonight.
Yes.
A lot of things are at stake. Integrity, trust, and everything is at stake here.
Yeah,
how much did you collect, you and Mr. Pampa, to disrupt the Labour Party?
There was never a time we collected any money, and that is why today I said we will see use Mr. Peter Obi in our presidential election to unseat the APC administration. That's number one. Number two, everybody knows the reason for the crisis Labour Party is because of an attempt by certain individual injured players from lesser team who came on loan into Labour Party. They hide their medical only for us to discover when they get to Labour Party that they are not qualified. In Nigeria today, all of you, Ochotoku came on your station to say that they were unable to pay Gen. That was not the business of Mr. Peter Obi. He has implicit confidence in them that they would do well, but we never knew some of them are injured players from where they were coming from. Ochotoku is a member of the Labour Party. He came on loan to a Labour Party. We never knew he was an injured player, that he would not be able to do his best. But we are going to guide, we are going to guide against most of these anomalies. And that's why for us today, like the honorable, your guest that just left, they should not go and rest on their hours. We are coming strongly. There is no crisis of leadership in Labour Party. Labour Party is not going to extinction. It is just, figment imagination of most of these our detractors. And we wish Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo well. His resignation is actually a good riddance to bad rubbish. He should not be speaking about Labour Party anymore.
Mr. Arabambi, there are people, I'm sure that you have seen some posts online, that when your campaign in the 2023 election, you have refused to pay the vendors who helped you with stage, with lighting, with sound equipment. Why is your party still owing vendors? How many years now after the campaigns?
No, two people will be able to answer that. Aisha Yesufu and Pastor Itwai Godalo, the two of them should be able to answer that. They were the one in charge of the campaign fund, not even the party. I am going to exonerate the national chairman and NWC. They were the one that handled party money. They should go and settle that. And that's what I said. Ochotoku has confirmed on this station and the other sister station that they were the one that were unable to pay them. Labour Party did not handle the campaign fund. It was Aisha Yesufu and Pastor Itwai Godalo. The two of them were the one that handled it. So they should go and sort those people out. But in 2027, we are not going to have such political rascality in our party. We are going to get that done. We are moving between ourselves now. The national chairman is on reconciliation mission, and that is why you see a lot of people now jittery, including the honorable that John left and the APC man. He's going back to APC. He's been working with President Tinubu before. That Kenneth Okonkwo. He worked with them against Peter Obi and Atiku in 2019. We know he's still going back there. We wish him well. We will meet, in the political in 2027.